Reptile Boy. Buffy goes to a frat party, which predictably turns out to be a bad decision.
We open with the gang watching what I think is a Bollywood movie and wondering what the hell's going on, and all has been quiet in terms of vampire activity.
And I thought the movie actually sounded interesting the way they were talking about it.
But then the wizard cut open the bag of salt, and now the dancing minions have nowhere to put their big maple fish thing.
We cut to a girl easily running through a glass door as she is apparently trying to escape from a bunch of robed guys.
I mean, she jumped off that balcony and she can still run at full speed. That thing was high up. I thought she was going to turn to be supernatural or something.
She runs through a very convincing graveyard, past a gravestone that just says Dad, and a mini pyramid, probably where they entombed the girl from the last episode. And then she gets caught. I thought it was a weird intro because it didn't show us anything to make us worry about the robed guys. They just seemed like robed guys. They should have at least had the one guy say something ominous or something, but we don't have any idea of what's going on.
It's not a Goosebumps book, okay? They're not going to give you that cliffhanger at the end of every second.
And we cut to Cordelia talking to a girl at school, and it was actually funny.
See? Dr. Debbie says when a man is speaking, you make serious eye contact and you really, really listen. And you laugh at everything he says.
And then we get a bunch of Angel-Buffy relationship banter that I didn't really care about, and I haven't really cared about, and I probably will continue not to care about.
Buffy again says that she can't have a relationship with Angel, and again, I thought she already did. Make up your damn mind, Buffy.
Giles is admonishing Buffy for not taking her training more seriously, and we get more of her complaining about balancing her Slayer life and her social life.
We've seen that theme handled very clumsily in the past, but this one scene actually worked better than everything we've gotten so far on that front. I thought Buffy explained her perspective in a way that made sense, and without her coming off as a shallow idiot.
Well, if that's how you feel. Cordelia is talking to her college boyfriend, who is obviously much older than the rest of the actors. It was so obvious. His friend requests to meet Buffy and ends up asking her out. And a college senior showing up to a high school to get dates with 16-year-olds was more than a little creepy.
Then Giles comes out and yells to her angrily in front of everyone that she's ignoring her duties.
Giles and Buffy are training in the library, and honestly, Giles seems like a terrible training partner because he's not good. Her combat skills are not getting better by training with Giles that way.
That night, when she's patrolling in the graveyard, she finds a bracelet and Angel. She acts very nervous as she tries to ask him out on a date, but they've already made out multiple times and he's even slept in her room. I would think they were past that.
He also reveals how weird it is for such an older guy to be creeping on such a younger girl, which he should probably talk to that other dude from earlier.
He says some contradictory and nonsensical things. I still don't get exactly what's standing in the way from their perspective, and after this scene, I'm even more confused.
Yeah, this was shaping up to be such a good episode. Cordelia invites Buffy to the frat party, and she's only doing it to further her own agenda.
And again, I thought the humor worked in this scene.
Agree.
Did you lose weight? And your hair? All right, I respect you too much to be dishonest. The hair's a little... Well, that really isn't the point here, is it? The Zeta Kappas...
Meanwhile, at the frat house, they're doing an initiation ritual, and the girl from the beginning is chained to the wall. So pretty standard procedure.
Buffy shows the bracelet she found in the graveyard to Giles.
I did like Giles mock fighting when they came into the library. And she wants to go to the party, so she lies and says her mom is sick.
Her talking about this made me wonder what it's like when she's patrolling all the time. Does her mom ever wonder where she is? What if she encounters a police officer? What does she say? Willow and Xander talk to Buffy about the party, and it turns into a loud conversation about orgies in the middle of a school hallway. So it was a pretty realistic scene.
Then we cut to the frat party, and I couldn't stop laughing at how cool everything was.
A drunk frat guy tries to dance with Buffy, but she is rescued by the weird guy from earlier.
I ended up just calling him the Tool.
Then Buffy goes outside and sees broken glass on the ground and a boarded up door, which could mean anything.
Willow and Giles are using Rhyme Zone to figure out where the bracelet came from.
Dent. Went. Kent.
And you can tell she's a real hacker because she does everything by typing instead of using a mouse.
And they find out it came from a school where a girl recently went missing.
Back at the party, Xander sneaks in to keep an eye on Buffy, and some frat guys see him and decide to mess with him by treating him as a new pledge.
Buffy is stumbling around due to the effect of her drink and ends up passed out in a room with Cordelia. And then the tool says,
"She's here for the pleasure of the one we serve."
Willow finds out more info about other missing girls, but this is Sunnydale. It could easily have been something unrelated. Giles calls Angel, and Willow finally admits that Buffy is at the party.
I liked how she laid into them, though. When she tells Giles you're being too hard and tells Angel you're being an idiot.
You're such a shallow character. Yeah, I remember that. Buffy and Cordelia wake up chained in the basement next to the other girl, and the tool says he's about to sacrifice them to Makita, who turns out to be a humanoid snake thing.
And again, we get Buffy's varying strength as she can't break out of these chains.
This whole situation reminded me of Lair of the White Worm. What did you think of Makita?
The close-ups were much better than the wide-angle shots, and I thought the makeup was pretty good.
I agree, but I thought it was somewhat undermined by the way he just kind of hangs there most of the time, not doing anything. They keep saying, like, Makita, get them, and then he's just like, and doesn't do anything. Then the others arrive and bust in, and Buffy breaks loose and fights everyone.
Then Buffy cuts Makita in half with a sword. Well, I mean, it could be her sharp wit as well. I guess I should clarify. Yeah, just thought of a good line. She could have been like, your history. You could afford to shed a few pounds. I think tomorrow morning you're going to need some aspirin. She could have pulled the thing from the G.I. Joe movie and gone, Cobra, la 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 la, and then cut it in half.
I thought Cordelia's reaction to everything was funny.
You guys, I just hate you guys. The weirdest things always happen when you're around.
Later, Xander reads an article about how the frat boys went to prison because of all the human remains found under their house. Then Angel shows up to ask Buffy out.
Great. Okay. Whatever.
Cue 90s music.
I'll let you know.
Reptile Boy. Overall,
Okay, was the title of this episode Reptile Boy? It could have fooled me, because it could have been called Way Too Much Teen Drama Bullshit That I Don't Want to Watch. Subtitle, Creepy Ass Old Dudes Trying to Pick Up High Schoolers. And I tracked it, just so you know. The snake dude part of the episode, the supernatural stuff in a show purportedly about supernatural stuff that people talk about all the time about being super great, was 5.5 minutes out of the entire episode. That's it. If I wanted to watch something about giant snakes and rituals that was good, I'd watch Lair of the White Worm. The only parts I could stay awake for in this episode were Willow's lines, which were particularly good in this episode, and the snake dude's makeup. That was pretty good. But the rest, burn it, throw it away, don't care. It didn't really do anything that we haven't seen before, and it didn't forward any character growth. You know, season 2 was like way better and whatever, but not this one. Okay? Not this one, for me at least.
that's pretty strong.
Yeah, and after hearing what you have to say, you might change my mind a little bit, but as of right now, I'm giving this one a straight D-.
Wow, okay. I gave it a B-.
Gross.
It seems like there are episodes where the humor works and episodes where it doesn't. I thought this was one of the former. And they've tried exploring the theme of Buffy struggling to live a normal life multiple times. This was the first time that I felt it actually worked. The frat guys were pretty underdeveloped, but I thought using them as a way to explore the dangers of poor decision-making worked pretty well, and they didn't hammer the message into our heads this time. I thought Makita was cool, even though he didn't really do anything. The part of the episode that I really didn't like was the Buffy Angel stuff. The writers seemed to keep trying to come up with reasons for them to have problems and put strain on their relationship, but instead of the actual practical issues that might result from a relationship between a human and a vampire, they keep having conversations that don't make any sense, where they just say we can't be together, but then they get together anyway. That stuff was very frustrating, but as a whole, I found the episode entertaining, stuff kept happening, it wasn't boring or anything, and I thought the humor carried it along, especially with Cordelia.
Okay, I forgot about the humor. I'll come up to a D+.
Okay.
You can make some snide comment about me changing my grade. Oh, I got one. You could say, I'm glad you changed your grade and stopped throwing a hissy fit.
I'm not gonna say that.
You could say, yeah, not every show is going to be Monty Python.
You only liked Lair of the White Worm better because of all the snake puns.
I do like the snake puns. I think they're hysterical.